I feel like this is worthy of like some serious applause. This was fantastic. Welcome to Casual Nerd Reactions. Today we're watching Rope, another Alfred Hitchcock film starring Jimmy Stewart. I'm particularly intrigued by this one from a stylistic choice. I'm led to understand that the film was intended to look like it was one continuous shot or a series of continuous shots. I love the idea and the concept, and I'm really excited to see what Alfred Hitchcock does with this concept. I didn't look at the plot of the movie at all. I'm going to assume it involves some kind of rope. I know. I'm really stretching there. Anyway, if you're ready to watch the reaction, hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and check me out on Patreon if you're interested in early access, voting in polls, or full-length reactions. And all right, let's experience Rope for the very first time. Oh no! What? Hang on, we're starting with a murder? The guy on the right kind of looks like Ben Affleck. They choked him with rope.
Pity we couldn't have done it with the curtains open and the bright sunlight.
Frankly, I don't know why you couldn't have. Like, no one can see in there, to my knowledge.
All right now, Philip?
Yes?
Good. You better put those away.
Philip seems to have not wanted to do that. Or at least he's really regretting it.
Davids of this world merely occupy space, which is why he was the perfect victim for the perfect murder.
Perfect murder? I don't know about that.
He's dead and we've killed him. But he's still here.
In less than 8 hours, he'll be resting gently but firmly at the bottom of a lake.
Meanwhile, he's here. It's not locked.
All the better. It's much more dangerous. Anyway, the lock's too old. It won't work.
That guy seems to get a thrill out of the possibility of getting caught.
You frightened me.
Yeah.
You always have. I'm only kidding, Brandon. I obviously can't take it as well as you, so I'm turning on you a little.
This is an occasion. It calls for champagne.
Why?
You were certain it would come off, weren't you?
Sicko.
Of course. The power to kill can be just as satisfying as the power to create.
Oh my gosh. Brandon is psychotic. Philip at least has a conscience, although why did he go along with it?
To David, of course.
Brandon, you don't think the party's a mistake, do you?
No, the party's the inspired finishing touch to our work. It's more, it's the...
The party's a huge mistake.
We did have to have them. After all, they are David's mother and father.
That doesn't make them any easier to talk to.
He wants to get caught, or at least come close.
What the devil are you doing?
Making our work of art a masterpiece. Mr. Kentley's coming mainly to look at these books. Now, what can be better than to have them laid out neatly on the dining room table where the poor old man can easily get at them?
Brandon.
The rope
Brandon!
is sticking out. He's panicking. Ah!
Well, go on, yank it out.
I can't.
If Mrs. Wilson were here, she'd yank it out for you.
Look how easy it
A
was.
display like that in front of somebody else will be just as good as a confession. We agreed there was only one crime either of us could commit. The crime of making a mistake. Being weak is a mistake.
I'm flabbergasted that this is the conversation that they've had this whole time. Like, just what is this movie?
Well, I think it looks downright peculiar.
Peculiar?
Very. Well, I have too much to do to discuss
He's still
this thoroughly
holding the
here.
rope.
However, I still think it's peculiar.
What on earth's the matter?
I was sure she'd notice.
Notice what?
The rope, of course.
It's nothing suspicious at all about holding a rope.
Mr. Cadell's coming.
Oh my.
Brandon, of all the people on this earth, Rupert Cadell is the one man most likely to suspect.
He's the one man who might appreciate this from our angle, the artistic one. Once thought of inviting him to join us.
Why didn't you?
He could have invented and he could have admired, but he never could have acted. Now the fun begins.
Oh, it's like makes my skin crawl that he thinks this is fun.
Am I the first?
You are?
Why is it I'm always too early at parties?
Probably because you're always on time. Mrs. Wilson, champagne.
I love that. I guess I just figured like in the 40s, at this time period, that like, you know, it was more expected people to be on time for parties, right? I guess not.
David going to be here?
Of course.
Who else is coming?
Oh, no one you don't know if that's what's bothering you. The Kentleys, Janet Walker.
Janet. Janet and I are all washed up.
Oh.
Did you know?
Oh,
They
I'm
broke up.
sorry, I didn't.
Janet and David are...
Hello, Mrs. Wilson.
Oh, don't worry about it. David's dead. So,
And cheer up. I have the oddest feeling anyway that your chances with the young lady are much better than you think.
Yeah, just throw that out there and let it sit.
Angel.
Oh.
Be careful of my hair. It took hours.
Uh,
You smell dreamy. Was that funny? I never know when I'm being funny.
she has a very off-putting personality to me. I can't explain why.
I believe you've met.
Hello, Ken.
Hello, Jan.
I could really strangle you, Brandon.
What have I done now?
What a choice of words.
We called it quits ages ago, and I'm practically engaged to his best friend.
David?
Yes, David.
Why the switch from Kenneth to David anyway?
Obviously, I think he's nicer.
Well, he's certainly richer.
That's a new low, even for you, chum.
Yeah, that's an accusation, man. Although you're a cold-blooded killer, so...
Rupert Cadell, he was our housemaster at prep school.
Who is this Rupert?
He used to tell you the weirdest things, didn't he?
Really? What sort of things?
He thinks murder is a crime for most men, but
A privilege for the few.
What?
yes.
So is he really responsible for, like, instilling this ideology into their brains? All right, David's
Mrs. Kentley
parents.
isn't well, so I took the liberty of bringing my sister-in-law, Mrs. Atwood.
Oh.
She's been staying with us.
Sorry to hear Mrs. Kentley's so ill.
Oh, it's just a cold.
David!
Oh, no, this is, you've made a mistake. This is Kenneth Lawrence.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
that's all.
dude is freaking out.
Oh, you've hurt your hand.
Oh, it's nothing, just a little cut.
What happened?
Nothing. The glass was cracked and it broke, that's all.
Is David here?
I expected him to come with you.
He called and said that he'd meet us here.
Once again, I love the choice of having no music, except for what is naturally in the room, in this case, the piano.
Rupert. I was beginning to think you weren't going to show.
You know me better than that.
I got that special patty you like.
I don't like it anymore. Oh, no, I'm just teasing. Just teasing.
Oh, you're awful.
Thank you.
I hope David gets here soon.
Yes, where is David?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Brandon, exactly what is this? And why are we eating off it?
Oh,
Honestly.
I've turned the dining room into a library.
They definitely stand a better chance of getting caught because they rearranged everything and they're not eating at the dining room table. Just because it's so
On her
bizarre.
wedding day, she playfully hid herself in a chest.
Yes, that's right.
Unfortunately, it had a spring lock. 50 years later, they found her skeleton.
Don't think I'll get that plate.
I really must apologize for David. I can't think what's keeping him.
Well, he's only in town for the weekend, Mr. Kentley, and David is a very popular young man.
I don't eat it.
I never heard of anyone who didn't eat chicken. Did you, Brandon? Oh, you probably did. Well, now, there must be a reason.
There's no reason, Jet.
He's on edge.
We were going to have chicken, so we walked over to the farm. The church bells were ringing, and in the yard, Philip was doing likewise to the necks of 2 or 3 chickens. His touch was perhaps a trifle too delicate, because one of the subjects
no.
for our dinner table suddenly rebelled. Like Lazarus, he rose...
That's a lie.
What?
I never strangled a chicken in my life.
Now, look here, Philip,
I
just because
never strangled a chicken, and you know it.
Why is he so defensive about it, though? Oh, because they strangled a man at the beginning of the movie.
Is it all over?
I'm afraid so, Rupert.
Oh, what a pity. In another moment, you might have been strangling each other instead of a chicken. And personally, I think a chicken is as good a reason for murder as a blonde, a mattress full of dollar bills, or any of the...
Well, now, you don't really approve of murder, Rupert, if I may.
Surely not.
You may, and I
Mr.
do.
Cadell?
Think of
Oh,
the problems
no.
it would solve. Unemployment. Have you had any difficulty in getting into our Velvet Rope restaurants?
Frightful.
A very simple matter. A flick of the knife, madame.
Dude, this guy's disturbed too. How are people just listening to him talk about this and they find it amusing?
Rupert, you're the end.
There's a hotel clerk. I could...
And perhaps he means it to be amusing. But there was at least one impression of mine that took him a little too seriously.
Then we'd all be murdering each other.
Oh, no. Murder is, or should be, an art.
No, no,
And
no,
as
no,
such,
no.
the privilege of committing it should be reserved for those few who are really superior individuals.
And the victims, inferior beings whose lives are unimportant anyway.
Obviously.
Wow, what the heck?
Then may I ask, who
can't
is to
believe
decide that a human being is inferior and is therefore a suitable victim for murder?
The few who are privileged to commit murder.
And just who might they be?
Oh, myself. Philip.
Way to incriminate yourself.
Then obviously you agree with Nietzsche in his theory of the Superman.
Yes, I do.
So did Hitler. But in any case, I'd rather not hear any more of your,
Wow.
forgive me, contempt for humanity and for the standards of a world that I believe is civilized.
Good for you, Henry.
Mr. Kentley, wouldn't you like to see the books now?
I love this movie so much.
Apologize, sir. Again, I'm afraid I let myself get carried away.
Oh, that's quite all right, my boy.
I have chills.
You were really pushing your point rather hard. You aren't planning to do away with a few inferiors by any chance.
I'm a creature of whim.
I can't peg Rupert. Like, would he be impressed by what they did or concerned and devastated that his ideas became reality?
Why don't you switch on the radio or play some records? A little atmospheric music goes a long way.
He's trying.
He thinks I threw you over because David has a bigger bank account. You threw me over, John, remember?
Oh, wow.
Grim Sunday at Harvard, when you called it quits. David took me for a walk. I just relaxed and let everything pour out.
I'm not very smart. I never realized you were... Brandon made a crack when I got here. Sort of implied I'd have a better chance with you again because David would be out of the running.
Wait, Kenneth, he pretended to be completely ignorant when I told him. He
What's
said...
going on here anyway?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out
yes.
once and for all.
I'm glad that they're putting some of the pieces together, although I'm sure they haven't jumped to Brandon's a murderer.
Some women are quite charming when they're angry, Janet. Unfortunately, you're not.
Cut that out, Brandon.
Well, chivalry rears its ugly head.
I don't believe David's coming. I think you deliberately arranged it so that he wouldn't come.
How clever of me.
I might have known you couldn't just give a party for Mr. Kentley.
Something gone wrong, Brandon?
No, Janet just has a talent for being bothersome at times.
I think you have a talent for bothering her, sir.
They've been in a state all day.
Oh, Mr. Brandon says he's always in a state when he gives a party.
It's the first time I've seen it.
Oh.
I was whisking out to do the shopping. He suddenly told me to take the whole afternoon for it. The whole afternoon.
I love that everyone's getting little bits and pieces of the puzzle. Oh, man. Philip's gonna be freaking out, yeah.
What's going on, Philip?
I like how the sun is setting in the background. Very, very cool.
You know, Philip, I get quite intrigued when people don't answer questions.
Oh.
You want to know something? Come out with it. Otherwise...
Oh, no, temper. Now, don't stop.
I'd like a drink.
Oh, wait, I'll get it for you.
I think he has to stop. I don't think he can keep playing and deal with the stress and the pressure of these questions.
You use this?
Sometimes.
I bet he can't right now.
Beginners. Where's David, Philip?
I don't know.
Just what is Brandon trying to do with Janet and Kenneth?
This is amazing.
What's about it? What are you laughing at?
Nothing. There's nothing going on at all, Rupert.
More than usually allergic to the truth tonight, Philip. That's the second time you haven't told it. You said you'd never strangled a chicken.
I didn't mean I hadn't killed any chickens.
That's what you said.
Well, I didn't think it was a suitable topic of
Oh,
conversation
geez.
while we were eating. Because I don't like to talk about...
About what?
I
Strangling
can't
chicken?
play with that thing.
I want you to have them very much.
It's extremely generous of
Oh, man, he used the rope to tie the books together. Dude, Brandon is literally insane.
I just think it's a clumsy way of tying them up, that's all.
David never had any trouble taking care of himself.
Yeah, you're giving away the whole thing to Rupert. Yes.
There's something upsetting both of you a great deal. Something that
Excuse me, sir.
David, I remember, was very polite as well as very punctual.
He hasn't changed.
I love the framing, how they're just keeping the chest in the frame.
Perhaps he decided to pick her up after.
Oh,
I
is she
phoned
gonna
my
immediately
place
start
after I
putting the
spoke with
books
Mr.
in?
Kentley.
You weren't there this afternoon by any chance, were you?
Oh,
I wish I had been.
No.
Hardly. We had our hands full
this is
getting
so
ready for the party.
fantastic.
Well, neither Philip nor I have talked to David since the day we invited him to the party.
That's odd.
I love this movie.
What do you mean?
This is just some of the most effective suspense
What were you
ever.
talking to him about? Did he call
Once
about
again,
the party?
Alfred Hitchcock,
Yes,
everybody.
wanted to make sure about the time. That
Come on,
was-
come on, come on, come on, come on!
Here, I'll help you with that.
Oh, he's covering. He is covering for her, or for them.
You can put the books back when you come in to clean in the morning.
Rupert
I
knows.
had a word from David. She's frantic.
I better talk to her.
Oh, Henry, I'm worried.
What did she say?
Mother's
She's
intuition.
been calling every place he might be. She wants you to call the police.
The police?
Oh, no, Anita. I don't think that's necessary.
Your books.
Oh, yes. Say goodnight to Philip.
Oh, he can barely contain himself to talk about this. He is ready.
I'm so sorry we have to leave. Goodbye.
Not yours.
John, goodbye.
I'm very sorry we had to spoil it.
It's David's! It's David's! DK! David Kentley!
Good night, Mr. Cadell.
Oh, come on, Mr. Cadell!
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was gonna stick around. He'll be back. This isn't over. I bet he walks back in with the rope. Ugh, Brandon is overjoyed.
Oh, Philip, this party really deserves to go down in history.
Praying I'd wake up and find we hadn't done it yet.
But why?
Because it's wrong. What more do you need?
I think we're going to get caught.
Oh, there's not a chance.
Come on, be Mr. Cadell.
Brandon, it's Rupert. He wants to come up. He says he left a cigarette case here. He wants to come up.
Well, let him come.
Brandon, I can't.
Oh, Brandon's relishing
No, he knows.
this.
Shut up.
This movie is so good. It's so good.
Come on up. We'll find it in no time. Rupert's on his way up now, and you've got to pull yourself together.
He can't. He's not capable of it.
Did you hear me?
Come on,
Keep
he's
your mouth shut.
drunk. He's got the
It'll be
Clark Kent
over in
swirl.
5 minutes. I'm not going to get caught because of you or anyone else.
Brandon, it's not loaded.
No. Is he gonna kill Rupert? Is he gonna kill Rupert? The only thing more exciting than one murder would be 2 murders, although the gunshot would be loud.
Any idea where you left the case?
No, none at all.
Ooh.
Completely unlike me to forget it, isn't it? I suppose a psychoanalyst would...
I love it, I love it, I love it.
Oh, well, here it is, right where I left it. Gentlemen, I beg your pardon.
Okay.
I'm very sorry. Well, may I have that drink anyway?
Of course.
I was thinking about David. His not showing up. You don't think anything really did happen to him, do you?
What could have?
Well, he could have been run over or held up.
In broad daylight.
Or strangled.
Must have been broad daylight when it happened.
What happened?
Nothing, probably.
What's your theory?
I was considering Janet's for the moment.
Oh, I didn't know she had one.
Yes, you do. She thinks you kidnapped David or did something to prevent him from coming.
How would you get David out of the way?
Now, you're much better at this sort of thing than I am.
No, but what would you do if you were I?
If I wanted to get rid of David, I'd invite him for a drink. At the club or some quiet bar. Or better still, I'd invite him here.
Yeah, he's gonna unravel the plan point by point.
As I recall, David was quite strong. He'd have to be knocked out.
Then where would you put him?
Well, I think I'd get Philip to help me carry him out of the room, down the back stairs, and the 2 of us would put him into the car.
You'd be seen.
Now, that means I'd have to find some place to hide the body until dark.
Come on, you know he's in the case.
Where, Rupert?
Yes, where?
Mouse, cat and mouse.
Philip.
He's
Which
cracking.
is the cat and which is the mouse?
That's enough of that.
Which is the cat, which is the mouse. Wow.
With him in this condition, though, there doesn't seem to be much point in your staying, Rupert. Unless you came back to find something besides your cigarette case.
Oh.
You mean, for example, to find if you really got rid of David. I never would have mentioned it if it weren't that you seem to be carrying fear of discovery in your pocket.
What?
That's a gun, isn't it?
Ooh.
It, really scares me a little.
I'm terribly sorry, Rupert. I don't blame you, but, well, here, you can relax.
I think I'll be running along.
Philip, you'll feel much better once you get out in the open
He has
air.
his own gun?
I don't think there'll be much traffic, and we ought to make...
He got the rope.
You were right, Philip. Those books were tied clumsily.
He knows. He knows, he knows.
All right,
He knows.
easy. I'll take care
No,
of it.
you won't. I told you he'd find out. But oh, no, you had to have him here. And now we're done for. Now I don't. No, you made me do it, and I hate you. I hate both of us.
Okay, well now that you've woken up the
Babbling drunk.
entire building.
Go ahead and look. I hope you like what you see.
Ooh, his voice.
Oh, no. Rupert.
Not as impressed with the
believe
reality
it was true.
as the theory, huh?
Rupert, please. Remember we said the lives of inferior beings are unimportant?
Tonight, you've made me ashamed of every concept I ever had of superior or inferior being.
Good.
We are each of us a separate human being, Brandon.
Wow. Okay.
With the right to live and work and think as individuals. By what right do you dare say that there's a superior few to which you belong? Did you think you were God, Brandon?
Woo!
Is that what you thought when you choked the life out of him?
Wow. Good job. And that's one way to summon attention. Woo! It Please, someone call the police. The sound design there was really well done. Stunned silence, nobody knows what to say. What a wonderful film. Wow. I love the way they chose to end this. This is great. This is so great. I feel like this is worthy of like some serious applause. This was fantastic. Fantastic! The concept behind this movie was absolutely one of the most engaging and compelling ideas and concepts that I've seen. I feel like every time I watch a Hitchcock film, like immediately after, I feel like, oh, this is my favorite one yet. But I think this was my favorite one so far. The suspense in this one, the concept, the real-time elements, the way everything unfolded. Oh my goodness, the way it was filmed, the way the sunset slowly kind of happened in the background as the film progressed. It was just, what an incredible job. Hats off to everyone involved in this. The performances, the writing, the scripting, the camera work, everything about this was just so compelling. I loved the line, which is the cat, which is the mouse, because at that point it was kind of hard to know, like, who was hunting who in the end scenario there, in the standoff. And of course, Jimmy Stewart's speech at the end, you know, kind of as he realized, like, his way of thinking was absolutely wrong. Who gets to determine who is superior and who's inferior? That thought right there really is the key. Like, no one can make that determination, because each individual has their own value and their own right to life. I think that's a really important thing that we all would benefit to remember. You know, sometimes I think we dehumanize other people. I think we distance ourselves from their humanity so that we can be more spiteful or more hateful towards them, so that we can maybe talk about them in a way that is, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm trying to say there, but I just think it's really a great idea to take the message of this film to heart and recognize that everyone is human and everyone has value. At the end of the day, I just had such a great time watching this film. Thank you to everyone who suggested it. Thank you to my patrons for voting for this one. And if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this. Here's all the other Hitchcock films that I've watched if you want to check those out. Here is another video that YouTube thinks you would like. So feel free to check that out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.